The 841st edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. And we're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Get your $25 free bet for the Belmont by going to nyrabets.com/SGPN25. That's promo code SGPN25.
Howdy ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 841 of the MMA Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to apathy, I guess is what he's trying to spell his name out, APA7HY in YouTube comments. He said on my the trick video where there's a woman on the Hey Dos Santos, and then it quickly changes to my face when you click on the video. He says, "My man, these help my underdog lineup major. Great picks." So there you go. I did someone solid with their underdog fantasy picks.
You got 2 out of 3 right on that, by the way, but he's still giving you your flowers.
I know. See, I'm not so dumb after all. I'm smart. I know things. Who am I? I'm Kaiser Del Busto, which is a real name that I stole from someone that Gumby tipped me off to, because Gumby is a few days ago Gumby came across so many good nicknames. So you may know me as Jeff Fox or Jeff Chalkx. I am one of the hosts here, and we're doing their other half of UFC 316. This is the money half that you actually have to pay to watch if you want. In most parts of the world, this is the pay-per-view portion of UFC 316. The voice you just heard was Daniel Gumby Vreeland. He and I almost agreed on all of the fights on yesterday's episode. Gumby took a swing on a big dog, other than over a dog, one dog more than me is what I'm trying to say, which is usually what happens. We'll see if it comes through. If it doesn't, people will hate on you, Gumby.
Yeah, usually. Do you think you have more dogs than me on the main card?
Let me see how many I have. At least equal, I'm going to say. Equal or more. Greater or
I bet you my guess is we are equal and we don't have the same ones.
I'm saying Jeff is greater than or equal than Gumby is what I'm saying. Oh, you think we have different ones too? Interesting. Thoughts on the main card? We have a rematch and a women's bantamweight are our title fights. So we don't like rematches and we don't like women's bantamweight, but thoughts on the card?
I think they're fun. It's at least a fun rematch. And then like women's bantamweight fight that I feel like has to happen, which is good. And then we're getting a Bellator fighter coming over in like not past his prime, which I appreciate, right? Like it's like we got past his prime Michael Chandler, we got past his prime Patricio Pitbull.
Yep.
Like we're getting in his prime Patchy mix. I think people should appreciate that. So like that's kind of fun. I mean, Joe Pyfer Kelvin Gastelum fight that was supposed to happen in Mexico, we're finally getting. Like it's a pretty good main card. And
it wasn't Gastelum that pulled out last fight, which is surprising. Yeah,
amazing. With bad Mexican food, I think.
There's no such thing.
Based on his not so nice comments.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He went crazy. Yeah, he was.
He doubled down on him too, which I appreciate.
Joe Pyfer gave the middle finger to the whole country of Mexico. So, all right, let's dive into this here card. After I remind you that Stanley Cup finals are on right now. Some of you Americans may not know that, or people in other countries. And the Hockey Gambling Podcast is giving away an NHL jersey and $200 in SGPN gift cards. Enter their contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Stanley Cup. I think you can still enter even though game 1 has already occurred by the time you hear this. You just have some catching up to do. All right, UFC 316, Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. So much talk. People are really amped up for this rematch, Gumby. It's so much talk. At least in our Discord, people are really
Sean O'Malley's still a draw. Like hate on him for losing his belt, or talk about his questionable podcast appearances. But like at the same time, like people care what he has to say. I've been saying for years he's like one of the better marketers in the UFC.
Yep. And you've been saying he's not for you. He's not for your
no, he's for a younger
demographic. Yes. Well, a friend of mine texted me last night saying a UFC ad just came on my TV and a guy with purple hair is on it and I want him to win. And I said, okay, you go, girl. I said, you like face tattoos then, I guess. But yeah, she said, no, purple hair is interesting. So, okay. Maybe she must be into clowns is what I got out of that. So yeah, O'Malley, obviously
into clowns. There's your title.
There's our title. Into clowns. Who isn't? All right. this event is going down in Newark, New Jersey, in the Prudential Center. We are off to the pay-per-view portion. 10 p.m. Eastern time is the start time, and we're starting off with a welterweight bout to kick things off. The Brazilian Vicente Luque, Brazilian who's actually from New Jersey, right? Versus Kevin Holland from.
I mean, originally from Brazil, though.
I think he was born in Jersey, though. Really,
I don't think you're right about that.
Really, I think it was the other way around. I think he moved after the fact. I think this is a trick. Like Leonardo, what's her name again? Victoria Leonardo is not really Brazilian. He was born in Westwood, New Jersey. Gumby.
Okay, all right,
yeah, weird,
all right.
Right?
I'll give you your props on that one.
Brazilian father, a mother Chilean, excuse me, father. So there you go. But yeah, that's Vicente Luque. He's fighting Kevin Holland. He's a trailblazer. He's from the United States. They're fighting at welterweight. The silent assassin versus the trailblazer. We'll tell you about Luque first. 23-10-1, 11 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. 16-6 in the UFC. Win over his last 3. 2-3 over his last 5. Submission win in his last bout, though. 1-1 the Ultimate Fighter. Used to fight at 185. 2009 Pro MMA debut. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes, and better grappling stats than Holland. He has been outstruck, though, in the UFC by 0.17 strikes per minute. So pretty much a wash there for him. He's at plus 230. No respect for the vet. I guess Holland's a vet as well. Trailblazer is 27-13 with 1 no contest. 14 knockouts, 8 submissions. Been knocked out twice, submitted 4 times. 14-10 with 1 no contest in the UFC. 1-2 over his last 3. 2-4 over his last 6. 4-6 over his last 10. He's consistently inconsistent here. He did win his last bout. He's fight at 185. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. You can get this shirt right here that I'm wearing. 1-0 in Contender Series, 1-0 in Bellator. He's bbeen fighting professional MMA since 2015. 2-1 as a pro kickboxer, 4 inches of height, 6 inches of reach over Luque. He's outstruck his opponents by 1.09 strikes per minute in the UFC and Contender Series, minus 270. I kick off these things. I'm shocking you, Gumby. I'm taking a dog here. A guy I've written off already, too.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm not paying that number on Kevin Holland. You can't trust Kevin Holland, basically.
Oh, yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, you can't trust Kevin Holland is what this boils down to. Fight IQ. Luque, very clear path to victory, too. Take him down. Not that, Luque can slug it out and stuff. I hope he does not, though. I hope he takes it down, and Holland's nice and complacent on his back like he always is, and Luque can finish it on the ground. So give me the silent assassin.
I also see there being, so first of all, I'm with you. I think as long as he shoots a takedown, this should be a really easy fight for Vicente Luque. And I also want to throw the outside chance in there that Kevin Holland stupidly wrestles. Like,
yeah,
for no reason, he shoots a takedown of his own and gets Dars choked. I think I called Anaconda choke on the last one when he beat Themba Greenbow, and you worked with me on that one. I love me some Vicente Luque, and like his losses aren't bad, right? Like if you go back and you look at all of his losses, because his record's not great recently, but it's like Jeff Neal, Bilal Muhammad, guys like that across the board. And Kevin Holland is not well rounded like those dudes are. He is very one-dimensional, exactly what he wants to do. And then sometimes he stupidly doesn't even do what he wants to do. So yeah, like I love Vicente Luque in this spot. I can't believe he's plus 230. I really didn't think you were going to take that. I thought this was
there you go.
I thought this was the one you were going to go, oh, striker's better than grappler. And then
is Kevin Holland a striker though? Really? Yeah. What is Kevin Holland?
Like, no, dude, if you could just let him have striking matches all the time, like he'd be good.
Yeah.
And
I've been saying grapple.
I've been saying for years, if he worked his takedown defense, he'd be good. And then he doesn't. And then sometimes grapples himself. So yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
He thinks he can grapple is the problem. It's
basically
I
think he only cares about being fun too.
Yeah.
And like
which is fine, but I'm not going to bet on you.
No, exactly.
It's fine. You want to be that way, that's cool, but I'm not going to
not
invest
at
money in you.
Negative 270 into that.
Yeah. I'm not investing money. That's all. I'll take the guy who had a brain issue a few years ago and still fighting, but he knocked off Garimba. He seems fine. He's fine. The athletic commission would never clear someone for a fight who was not fit for a fight, right? So he's fine. Yeah. All right, we're going not way down, but down to bantamweight, men's bantamweight. Mario Bautista, Patchy mix. They are fighting. They're both from America, United States of America. Perhaps you've heard of it. We'll tell you about Bautista first. 15-2, 3 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 9-2 in the UFC. 7 straight wins for him. He's not lost since March 2021. He's fight at 145 plus 155. And don't go telling me that he really lost his last bout to Jose Aldo, because he won. Patchy is actually a nickname for Pat. I think it's Patrick. Is it not?
It's Patrick Mix. Yeah.
Yes. Patchy is 20-1. 2 knockouts, 13 submissions. He has never been finished in a fight. Short notice UFC debut. The alarm bell should be ringing there for you. He also has been out of action for over a year. He's not fought since May of 2024. That's another alarm bell thing there. He's won 7 straight fights, though. That's good. He's not lost since September 2020. 10-1 in Bellator, and he was the RIP, and he was the final bantamweight champion there. Missed weight before at 135, so keep an eye on that, especially since this is a short notice one and he's not fought for a while. Regional champion. He's fed at 125 at 145, 2 inches of height, 3 inches reach over Bautista, minus 163.
My turn?
Yep.
Patchy Mix.
Really?
Yeah, and I knew you were going to go Mario Bautista here, right?
Because I wrote about it, so I think I may have to now.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, this is Patchy Mix for days for me. Look, Mario Bautista had a lot of trouble with Damon Blackshear in the grappling. A lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. And there is a wide gap in the grappling abilities of Patchy Mix and Damon Blackshear. No offense to Damon Blackshear, but like, we're talking about a guy who goes in there with Russians like Magomedov and out grapples them versus Damon Blackshear. And like, you know, it's not just even the grappling for me. Like, Patchy Mix's leg kicks really sharp. He's a southpaw, which I think could potentially give Bautista trouble here too. He throws like this pawing. It's like between a jab and a hook. It's like this little pawing jab that he does that like frustrates people on the feet, gets you to overcommit, gets in on the takedown. I think his grappling game is sick when it comes to submissions and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, Bautista's grappling game is good too. But like, he was also, was it him that got like subbed in like 35 seconds by Corey Sandhagen?
Who? Bautista?
Bautista. I'm pretty sure Sandhagen subbed him in like a minute. I was there, I want to say too.
I wouldn't hold that against anyone, but let me check.
It was really fast though.
Yeah. Trevin Jones got knocked out by him, and then Sandhagen armbar 331 to the first round. So
okay, so a little bit longer than I thought. But if I'm not mistaken, that one happened on Cejudo versus Dillashaw in New York City.
UFC on ESPN +1. So I think you're right.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, I think the submission game of Patchy Mix is just too good. The wrestling game of Patchy Mix is just too good. And I think he holds his own on the feet. So yeah, I'm all over Patchy Mix here.
I hear you, but I'm betting against since it's a dog. If Bautista wasn't a dog here, I probably wouldn't be taking this. I'm betting against the long layoff and the short notice debut, and the fact that he hasn't fought in the UFC before. And Bautista's not an easy out for anyone here. So give me Mario Bautista, but basically,
except for Corey Sandhagen, he was an easy out
true. Well, yeah, most people are though, really, right? Who isn't an easy out for Corey Sandhagen? But yeah, it'd be fine with me if Mix actually wins, because it'd be nice to have another
Mix is longer too. I think that's a big piece of why I like him in this one too. Because right, like we were just talking about, like Patchy Mix is a great grappler, and I think he has the advantages there on the feet. That like big long jab from the left-handed stance, right, is his right hand, but a left-handed stance is going to give problems to somebody who's 3 inches behind in reach.
Yep. Gumby knew I had a mix in the mix joke coming on, so that's why he interrupted me.
Yeah, I dropped it.
Another quality fighter in the mix. Ha ha ha. But Gumby knew. I did it anyway. All right. So we're on opposite sides there, but as per usual, I respect Gumby's side of the argument here, because I'm basically just basing mine off of the stats that tend to actually win. So hey, we'll see. All right. Before we move on to more winning plays, Edge Boost time. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with our promo code SGPN. And if you sign up this week, you get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Go to sportsgamblingpockets.com/refs, REFS, to claim your free shirt. And it's time for Gumby's bonus underdog pick and play. Underdog is going long for the NBA Finals. That starts tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1. And the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. I say 5 games tops is what we're going. But Gumby, you got to play.
You're giving only 5 games in the NBA.
Come on. You think the Pacers are really going to win more than one game?
I think they're better than you think they are.
We'll see.
So I'm going to go with, there's a couple of Gonzaga boys starting in this game. So, I got to go there. I'm going to take the higher than on Andrew Nembhard's assists. They're going to need to work through him a little bit here in order to try to stay in the game. So I'm going to take the higher than on his assists, currently listed at 4.5.
A Canadian, might I add. There's
a Canadian and a Gonzaga player.
Yes,
Look at that.
there is 2 Canadians on each team, so we win regardless. There's a Ontarian and a Quebecer on each squad.
There's a Zag starting on each team.
Yeah, there you go. Everything's coming up for us. All of our things that we like to talk about in this podcast. All right, so take Gumby's play and take the code I'm going to give you, MMA SGPN. And take it over at underdogfantasy.com to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. And Naira Bets, that's spelled NYRA. Bet the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga with Naira Bets. Sign up today using our promo code SGPN25 and get a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just getting started, Naira Bets makes it easy to jump into the action. This exclusive offer is just for the Belmont Stakes, so don't wait. Join now and claim your free $25 Belmont bet today at nairabets.com/SGPN25. So NYRAbets.com. All right. We are moving right along to the next fight. It would be third from the top. It would be a fight we talked about. This one was a few months back, actually. Middleweights, Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer, as we just talked about. The famous Mexican hater, Joe Pyfer. All right, Gastelum first, 19-9 with 1 no contest, 6 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been submitted 3 times. He's durable. 13-9 with 1 no contest in the UFC. Win-loss win over his last 3. 2-3 over his last 5. 3-6 over his last 9. It gets worse the farther back you go. He did win his last bout, though. I think I had him written off, and he won because that's the way these things go with me. He's fed at 170. Missed weight 2 times at 170 before. 4-0 on the Ultimate Fighter and the champion. How is the Ultimate Fighter this season? Gumby, have you watched any of it?
I've only watched the first episode. It was a very exciting fight, sort of surprising. The one thing I will say, this will be wildly surprising to you. DC is the really insufferable coach, not Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
He's like weirdly coaching his player or his fighters into like trying to trash talk more and getting people. It's like really uncomfortable.
Yep.
But the fighters are good.
Yep. All right, good. I think I will just skip and watch the fight. So there you go. 2009 Pro MMA debut for Mr. Gastelum. Better striking stats than Pyfer. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.26 strikes per minute. He's at plus 310. This line is much wider than it was the first time they fought. I don't know why it's changed, but it has. Body bags with a Z. We call him B, Joe Pyfer. 13-3, 9 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 4-1 in the UFC. Knockout win in his last bout. 1-1 on the Contender Series. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a gear, get a merch. This shirt I'm wearing right now, the sticky one. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Oh, who beat him on Contender Series? I have to ask that.
Dustin Stoltzfus.
There you go. 5 inches height, 4 inches of reach over Gastelum, 5 years younger, because Gastelum really should be a welterweight. Pyfer has outstruck his opponents by 0.24 strikes per minute. Better grappling stats than Gastelum, minus 380. We both were in on Pyfer originally. I'm in on him again now. I don't like the line, obviously, because Gastelum has at least surprised me in his last bout. But I still think Pyfer is a better all-around fighter at this point. So I'll take Pyfer.
Do you want to know why it moved? It's real simple.
That
Kelvin Gastelum's only path to victory, in my opinion, in this fight was to out cardio Joe Pyfer. And that fight was supposed to be at elevation, and now we're back at sea level.
There you go.
And that's a nightmare.
Sea level Pyfer. Is that a thing?
I don't know if it is, but like, that's a nightmare for him. And in addition to that too, like I said it the first time we broke this fight down, Joe Pyfer lost his only fight in the UFC to Jack Hermanson by getting, stick and moved point fight from the outside. When has Kelvin Gastelum ever fought a point fight? Yeah. When has he ever not gone and tried to take somebody's head off and ate a punch to give a punch? And like when you're doing that with a guy who should be a weight class higher than you and is built like a freaking statue, like you don't want to slug with Joe Pyfer, and I just know Kelvin Gastelum is, and like the wrestling is also not an out for him here either because I think he's a worse wrestler. So yeah, I'll take Pyfer.
So Pyfer via decision then? Maybe the play
I
here?
think he can finish him. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. I
eventually the chance got to go.
Maybe you even hear something about that later on.
Yeah. Gumby told me off air he has too many props. Too many. He doesn't know what to do with all of his props, so he's going to have to give you all his props. He's got too many. He's got to get rid of them. All right, title fights next. The best. What'd you say?
Kind of a title fight.
Kind of the best weight class of all.
Pena should have clearly lost her last fight.
UFC Bantamweight Championship. Julianna Pena, who somehow is a 2-time UFC champion. Defending your belt against Kayla Harrison from the United States, both Americans. 5 5-minute rounds, 135. Oh boy, Oh joy, oh bliss. Challenger is Harrison, 18-1, 6 knockouts, 7 submissions. She has never been finished in a fight. She's 2-0 in the UFC. She's won 3 straight fights. Her only loss was back in November 2022. She went 16-1 in the PFL, won 2 of the championships there. 2 different weight classes, I think, too, right? She used to fight at lightweight and featherweight. She's a 2-time gold medalist in judo, minus 649 for the Challenger. Because the champion is not good at MMA. The Venezuelan Vixen, 12-5, 3 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice. 8-3 in the UFC. The champ 2 times over. She won 3 of 4 and 4 of 7. Won her last bout and got the belt back again. It's not lost since July 2022. 3-1 the Ultimate Fighter and the champion there. She's got so many championships for a person who's not good at fighting, Gumby. It's insane. Used to fight at 125. 2009 pro MMA debut plus 525. So these be 30 pounds apart, these 2 ladies.
Yeah, I had a friend who had a parlay, a large parlay, hinging on Raquel Pennington on that fight, and was like celebrating because it was in the bag going to the decision, only to have the rug ripped out. Yeah, this is Kayla Harrison by a mile. There's not really much of a breakdown here other than like I've doubted Kayla Harrison in the past being like this person should be able to outstrike Kayla Harrison. Now you're entering a realm where you can't outstrike Kayla Harrison. Like you're a worse striker than Kayla Harrison. So like your path to victory at her is on the ground. Like that's how you're going to beat Kayla Harrison. Like, dude, there's nothing here for Julianna Pena. She should go to bed tonight and pray that Kayla Harrison misses weight so that the title becomes vacant instead of it being ripped from her grasp by like brutal defeat. Yeah, like Kayla Harrison, as confident as I could possibly be.
You don't like her tripping her way into punches and stuff like she likes to do? Way out over top of your feet and
I'd really love that clip of her trying to punch Amanda Nunes and just being like I have better form than that combo. Like I'm not saying I have good striking form, but I know I could throw strikes better looking than that particular combination from Julianna Pena.
Didn't I call you the lethal kick yesterday though, Gumby? Yeah, you must have amazing striking. I wouldn't have called you that if it wasn't true.
I do not.
All right, we're both in on Harrison here, obviously. She actually will be the better striker, at least technically, in this fight. So, yeah, Harrison is the pick. All right, before we dive into the main event and all our fancy dancy plays, let me remind you that Circa is right now are having their Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway. What that entails is this: Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the Ultimate Fantasy Football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. You'll get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 tab for stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. You can always get 15% off at all the Circa properties with promo code SGPN15 and enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And Rhythm, RITHMM. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Who is that picture that you found Power Trend on the other day?
Noah Cameron,
right.
But I'm also going to throw a bone in the direction of Casey Mize because they hooked me up with some Casey Mize projections, and he's going to actually be throwing today on Thursday at the time that you get this. So check out those projections on Casey Mize. All
right, you check out Power Trends and for free with the 7-day free trial. Go to our site, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, and then go /Rhythm, RITHMM. And we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in every sport, including the NBA Finals, which tip off tonight for the True Degen, the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers for a ton of locations, easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the lines we're talking about right now over at MyBookie.ag. And when you do, sign up with our promo code MMASGPN. That way you get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And now to the main event that everyone's talking about. It seems, I guess everyone was pretty interested in it the first time around. They seem, I don't like, it's an immediate rematch for O'Malley. It isn't for Dvalishvili.
Which is a weird format, I think.
Yeah. I don't like,
I've got a hot take on how to handicap that too. So
okay, cool.
I'll wait until you give me the lowdown.
I don't like it, but people seem to be into it. So who am I to say? It's for the UFC Bantamweight Championship. Merab Dvalishvili from Georgia. Sean O'Malley from United States of America. They're fighting 5-minute rounds at 135. I'll tell you about the challenger and former champ, Sugar Sean O'Malley, 18-2 with 1 no contest, 12 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. Yes, he is durable. 10-2 with 1 no contest in the UFC. He hasn't claimed to be undefeated anymore, though, right? That was a very annoying shtick that he did forever.
I think he's going to have to give it up after that Dvalishvili bit down.
Yeah. He is the former champion, 3-1 over his last 4, 6-1 with 1 no contest over his last 8. He lost his last bout to Merab. Then he went, he had a labrum, torn labrum. Was it his hip? That was the issue?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Torn labrum in his hip.
Right. 1-0 on Contender Series. He's fed at 125, a regional champion, 2015 Pro MMA debut. 5 inches height, 4 inches reach over Dvalishvili, because that's what O'Malley basically has over everyone in this division. 3 years younger, better striking stats, more active landing strikes. He's outstruck his opponents by 3.22 strikes per minute, plus 230. So the line's a bit wider than I think it was much closer to pick him last time around. The Machine, Dvalishvili, a very apt nickname. 19-4, 3 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. 12-2 in the UFC. He's a champion. He's defended the title once already successfully. He's won 12 straight fights. He's not lost since April 2018. He's a regional champ. He's fed at 145. 2014 Pro MMA debut. Has outstruck his opponents by 1.85 strikes per minute. He has better grappling stats than O'Malley. He's got a silver medal in world level in Sambo, minus 275. Give me the Machine. Just rinse and repeat from the first fight. It's Gumby. Actually, it was Gumby that said it in our Discord. Have you ever really seen him in trouble? He gets tagged, but
he gets in trouble.
Yeah,
he's never gone out, but he gets never in trouble.
Out.
Yeah.
Rinse repeat. Same as the first fight.
Well, and I think the biggest problem for me and why I can't get behind O'Malley, because historically I was behind O'Malley in the first one, which is wild because I love Merab Dvalishvili. Mm-hmm. But the reason I can't get behind him here is that, like, if he had taken one more fight with Julianna and been like, okay, let me make sure my takedown defense works, or let me go fight, anybody in this division who's got like halfway decent takedowns, right? Take a fight with Patchy Mix, take a fight with Mario Bautista, just to show that he had worked on that and that his hip isn't garbage and like that he isn't just going to get rinsed and repeated. I would like it a lot more, but instead he's got this long layoff. He's got surgery in between, and he hasn't shown me that he's made any real changes. And I'm sure his training is going to make him a little bit better. I trust the guys he's got in his corner to sort of fix his problems. But at the same time, like, could you fix him enough? And does anybody have a real chance of keeping Merab Dvalishvili off their legs long enough? Like, yeah. I see 10-15 strike or takedowns here for Merab in another decision.
Underdog fancy, everybody.
Yeah. They haven't. I already looked, but they didn't. Yeah. They haven't listed the projections on his takedowns yet. But yeah, over. Higher than on the takedowns for Merab Dvalishvili. Period.
Yeah, that's why you don't do immediate, or this is basically immediate. It was what, November or something, I think.
Well, if it was close, if it's close, I hear it. Or
if it's a robbery, quote unquote robbery, something like that. But this wasn't.
It was clear. Close. It was obvious. He took him down a billion times. Like, show me that Sean has fixed that.
Yeah. The only reason this fight would go any different is if you think the hip was the total difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, again,
nothing else. There's been no time for anything else to change.
Let's see a fight where he shows me the hip is fine.
Exactly. And that would make this a bigger fight too, but I don't book these things. So Dvalishvili is the pick here. Like I said, same as the first go round, because rematch is more interesting if you let some time go too. But anyhow, people are seem to be into it. Like I said, we both have Merab, we both have Harrison, we both have Pyfer. He has Mix. I'm taking a shot at Bautista. We both have Luque, surprisingly. All right, fancy time. Locks, dogs, props. And Gumby says we have a round robin because he has too many props. So they have to go. He's got to get rid of his props. All right, I think you kick it off this week.
I don't remember if I do or not, but I will. I'll take Sergey Spivak. Negative 140 on the money line, which is a pretty damn good one for me.
I'm going to give you to him at minus 138. How's that?
Oh, even better.
Yeah. I'll take Markel Medeiros. He is from the prelims as well. Minus 205. He's actually in the kickoff bout. He's getting a fighter making his debut, and they've only had about a week to get prepared for this. So give me Medeiros.
I thought you were going to do that. For my underdog, I'm going to take Andreas Gustafsson. I think he wears out Chaos Williams.
All right. We had him at plus 160. I'm taking a big one. Give me Luque. We just talked about him. Give me Luque at plus 230. I'm counting on Bonehead moves by Kevin Holland, at least one, to secure the fight for us.
I like it. And for my prop, I'm going to take Killian Salkhill. I'm going to take him inside the distance. I'm not going to get too fancy with a sub or a KO because he's got the ability to do both. And I can't think he could do both to Ashmouz. But even just inside the distance, you can get him at plus 160.
All right. Excellent. I got a big one here. Sergey Spivak via submission, plus 370 for some reason.
I can give you 375 because it may or may not be in my 100-man John.
Even better. Plus 375 because this is a very clear path to victory. Spivak normally fights smart too. It's not like he's gonna.
He's super intelligent.
He's not gonna stand and do the salsa with Salsa Boy. So yeah, give me Spivak. All right. Spivak is Gumby's lock. Medeiros is my lock. He's got Gustafsson. I have Luque for our dogs, but we're both in on both those locks and dogs. Salkhill inside the distance. And I got Spivak via submission. All right. Hungry Man Jong super fan round robin because Gumby has too many props.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the one I just mentioned, Sergey Spivak by submission, plus 375. Think he's smart. Going to take him to the ground. Another one I'm going to take off of the prelims by submission. I like you. I know like he's only. I know he's only got one. Thanks. I know he's only got one submission in his history, but like I've seen him take the back of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts from Brazil even. And we know that that's Jekasuragi's biggest issue. And so you can get him at plus 275 on the sub. I'll take a third submission here, one that you might not like. I like Patchy Mix by submission. That one's coming in at plus 240. So those will be my three submission ones. And then I'm going to add a pair of KOs here. I'm going to take Joe Pyfer by KO. That one's 275. I think Calvin Gastelum's going to finally get what's coming to him. And speaking of people who's getting what's coming to him, I'm going to take Kayla Harrison by knockout as well. I don't necessarily think like a big bomb, but like I could totally see her getting them out and just being like, could I sub her? Yeah, but I also want her to feel pain. And Kayla Harrison by KO right now is 300. So that's Kayla Harrison by KO, Joe Pyfer by KO. We got Spivak, Mix, and you all by submission. If you hit two of those, you're going to get almost back to even money on the round robin. You hit three, big payday, four, huge windfall. If you hit all five, you're going to get 110 times your money.
All right. Excellent. So why do you hate Gastelum as much as Julianna Pena? You said what's coming to him. I don't think
I said he's going to get what's coming to him, meaning that he eats a ton of shots. And like at some point that happens, Julianna Pena gets it from her mouth.
There you go. All right. Spivak sub, you sub, Mix sub, Pyfer KO, Harrison KO. There you go. Fun. It'll be fun making those plays regardless. Hopefully at least two of them come through. And then the fun is free fun for you. All right. We'll be in the Discord having more free fun. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. So get in there and chat with us and the rest of the boys because it is only boys, sadly. We're at the old YouTube MMA Gambling Podcast. Hit us up in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. We're almost at 1,500. It would be great to get to another nice big round number. SGPN MMA is what we are on the X, the Twitter. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. Same as on Instagram for me, Jeff Fox Writer. Now that we told you who's going to win and how, enter my free pick'em contest at moneymma.substack.com. Win yourself some swag. Gumby's got a Top Turtle MMA podcast. Tell the people who is on it this week.
We got Mansour Abdul-Malik fighting next week in UFC Atlanta. And then we got Jeremy Lukau, who is the promoter for 559 fights.
There you go. So check that out. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for some bonus content. And when you do sign up for underdogfantasy.com and mybookie.ag, remember our code MMASGPN. Now, Gumby's going to bid you farewell.
I'm David Gumby Vreeland. He's B. Jeff Fox. And we will see you on Sunday.